Hi, I'm Coach Brian Walther, and welcome to Coach's Corner. I'm with Cause Events, and I wanted to discuss with you a story today. Now, this story actually happened to yours truly, yes, and it was a very, very bad day racing. I can't express to you how bad this actually was without actually taking you back there, but I'll try to convey the utter humiliation that this was. But out of every story like this, some good can happen because you can learn a lot of lessons. And if I learn this lesson and I don't share it with you, you're possibly going to make the same mistakes I did. And there was innumerable mistakes that I made on this one particular race day. So let's begin with this ridiculous story and the lessons learned. Before we get into the weeds, I just want to say that every good story, especially if it's funny, begins with decisions made. Some bad, some good, but they're still decisions. And the one thing I do want to express is if you make mistakes, own them. You know, there's a lot of liberty in owning your own mistakes. And if you can laugh at yourself, laugh at those mistakes, you have won the game already. Okay, this story is 100% true, and I didn't make it up one bit. And just in case you're wondering, the idiot character in this story is me. This story is embarrassing to me, but it's very important to own my own mistakes, as long as it doesn't harm anybody. And again, I didn't put anybody else's name in here. I don't want to hurt anybody else's feelings. This is my own story. Okay. So I did this. So I did this awful on my last triathlon. Not just bad, but horrible. And I lay the blame squarely at my feet. Part of this was due to some past injuries that were magnified again by bad decisions. Okay, so I had this triathlon this weekend, and though not fully back 100%, was relatively certain I could do fairly well. Maybe not top 10%, but the upper 50th percentile, probably so. Well, I ended up 11th to last place in my age group. The old saying in my life, my life is defined by alcohol and bad decisions, were exemplified on this weekend. Not that my life is exemplified by that saying, but this weekend it was. So with the race looming and getting closer by the week, I had prepared, I think, reasonably well. My swim times were pretty good. My cycling had gotten better, but my running was, well, it was there. Okay, we'll get into it a little bit more. I should say here that I had a couple serious orthopedic surgeries in the past couple of years that all completely sidelined me. A badly torn Achilles and two major tendons in my shoulder. The foot and shoulder injuries, though not related, affected the other. So I was basically starting all over again from near zero. I will not get into the details about that other than to say it did affect my training for several years. And that's the way injuries usually are. It's going to affect your training, but it's important that you do take time to heal. And, I for one, I've played the idiot so many times and not given my body sufficient time to heal. And that's why, as a coach, I promote and I preach spending time in recovery, in healing, and to restore your body. So here I was a month out from the race. My good friend was trying to schedule his birthday party and originally thought of the week before the race, which was okay. He then decided on the day before the race. This was where I started making really bad decisions. I usually buy a 6-pack of IPAs for our weekly Brews Day Tuesday, where we sit on the porch and drink a few beers Well, that didn't happen because of scheduling conflict. And as the week progressed, we got to Friday evening when the out-of-towners coming to his birthday party started arriving. They're all friends of ours, so I headed over there with my IPAs and to have a few while also bringing over my signature chili, which everybody likes my chili. If you're seeing this and you've ever had my chili, it's really good. It's one of the few things I do well, but I digress. I got home probably about 10 that evening. Not bad. I live across the street, so no driving was required. I did have to get up and work the Triathlon Expo the next day. I had packed the car already, but managed to forget a few things. Again, we're talking bad decisions here, so a little brain eraser goes a long way. I probably wouldn't have forgotten those things if I wouldn't have gone over there to have a few beers with my friends. And again, bad decisions with some IPAs equal brain eraser. Let's just wash those thoughts right out of our head. Okay, this was the first clue that I was not clear-headed. I managed to pull it off and played my role well, albeit still a bit foggy. I did manage to eat a single slice of pizza that day. I was already 2 bad decisions in and falling behind fast. I worked the expo. I didn't eat all day. And then, I thought, hey, let me grab a piece of pizza before it's all gone. And this was maybe an hour and a half before I came home. So I hadn't eaten all day. At the expo, I brought the bike I didn't plan to race with to showcase transition. I put the numbers on that bike to demonstrate where numbering goes on that bike, but I didn't plan on riding that bike, and I realized that I couldn't get those numbers off, so I figured I'd just use that bike. No new gear on race day, right? Well, every piece of equipment, no problem, right? Wrong. The shoes I was using had never been used with the pedals, but I hadn't thought about that. More about that later. We can get into that. I got home, made sure I had all my gear packed in my bag, checked it against my list. Good to go. Got all the gear and got it all in the car. So all I had to do is change my clothes and head across the street. I walked over and entered the party and started talking to new friends and a few new folks. My buddy hands me a beer at the and the party was on. We must remember, I am not in my 20s. I am in my 60s. Life is a little bit less forgiving. Well, I finish that first beer and grab a second and start to mingle. The second beer turns into a third, and we are having a good time. Let the good times roll. That was my graduation theme song. Okay, remember that single slice of pizza? I still only had that single slice of pizza and a couple of crackers and cheese, and now I'm 3 beers in. These are IPAs, mind you. They're not like 3-2 beer. Finally, the meat is off the grill, and I have a plate of tri-tip, some ribs, and another beer. I'm sitting at the table chatting and nibbling on appetizers. Oh yeah, a mixed drink lands in my hand, and then another. Then a shot of tequila. Nothing good happens after that shot of tequila. Some bourbon and water, and then another. So we're having a good time eating meat, talking, and drinking. Okay, notice there are no carbs here. They're just meat. This plays in. Now I think, although I can't say for sure, between 10 and 11 I head home for a short night's sleep after setting my alarm clock for 3:30 a.m. Okay, I've had like 7-8 drinks, and now my clock's set for 3:30 a.m. and it's already 10:30, 11 o'clock. Okay, 3:30 a.m. comes rolling along. I wake up and start thinking, no, I don't have to go. Nobody will miss me. I can just lay here and go back to sleep. Nope, not me. I get up and make some toast. My body is spent from not from exercise or training, but from bad decisions and alcohol. Again, bad decisions and alcohol. I pushed through it like a champ. Yay, me. Or the idiot I am, and managed to get out of the house feeling like I need to vomit, which I don't, but I feel that bad. I drive feeling like this is not really what I should be doing, but I managed to get there. It's dark, it's cold, and it wants to rain. But I still held it all together and get my gear out and head to the transition zone. Okay, well, this is turning into a fun day already. Can you see where I'm going with this? Now I do transition well and have a clean setup that I have used for years, and even in my most hungover state, I can do this. I get everything set up and realize I left my glasses in my car almost a half-mile away or so. So off I go. I get back up and feel every bit as bad as I did when I got up and think, I need to vomit. Don't think I will, but when I start swimming, will I need to then? Wouldn't that be fun? I've never vomited while swimming. How would that even work? Maybe it will hold off till the bike, but then I think, vomit on the bike course. Yeah, and make a slimy line out on the road for someone to slip on. Damn, I'm cold. These are all thoughts going through my head. Well, after my setup, and having got my glasses, I talked to some of the athletes I'd worked with in the past and a few friends, but my head wasn't there and my stomach was in turmoil. And what the heck am I doing here? And I'm cold. I managed to pull off looking fine, but it was getting close to the time transition is going to close. So I put my raincoat away and got my wetsuit on, which gave me a little bit of warmth, but not much. So we all moved down to the boat ramp where the swim start is, and I'm in wave 14. So it's a long wait. Did I mention I'm cold? I can't stress this enough. Well, wave 14 was called, and we got in the water, which was a relief because it was a balmy 69 degrees. The countdown begins, and off we go. I'm disoriented. I can't find my rhythm in my swim, and now just seconds in, and I get a calf cramp. Why do I get a calf cramp? Because I'm dehydrated because of alcohol and bad decisions. I managed to relax, and the leg releases, but I don't have any steam, and I can barely hold a straight line, falling further and further back. I just see how this day is going to be. Okay, 3 buoys pass, and the right turn along the dock, and I get to the ramp, and I say, thank God this is over. I stand up and head toward T1. I trot in, and my transition isn't too bad, and out I go on the bike. I was thinking, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I have no energy. I'm not passing very many like I usually do, but if I can just get through this, I will nail it in the run. Now it starts to rain. Okay, I'm cold, and I'm not going to dry out, and my damn shoe unclips. Let's take a sidebar. Remember, I preach nothing new on race day? I have used every piece of equipment multiple times, but never these shoes specifically with these pedals, and it wasn't going. I'd get clipped in, and it would pop out. Finally, I got firmly clipped in, but I had to be careful not to accidentally unclip it, so that really helped a lot. That even took a little more steam out of my ride. Just riding the 2 laps and hating every minute, I asked myself, should I just retire from this stupid sport? Is this really fun? Why did I get out of bed this morning? And of course, I'm cold. I managed to get done with that damn bike leg and dismount perfectly and run in and almost put my bike on the wrong rack and have to find my spot. Other than that, T2 wasn't that bad, and went well, shoes on, and off I go on the run leg. Yay, Brian! I start trotting out, and maybe 200 yards in, and my back immediately goes into a spasm. Now I have to walk this out, and I'm not even out of the fence line yet. I have to run past all these people, and I'm not enjoying this at all. The race has gone from sucky to I just want to go lay down in the bushes and die. So I walk on and run a bit, and the worst is yet to come, like can it really get worse? Well, yeah, it can, and it did. First of all, I'm well known in the San Diego triathlon community, and as a rep for the company, and a official, and a YouTuber, I had tons of people running by cheering me on because they knew me, and I just wanted to slink away and die. It was the most embarrassing, humiliating situation I can remember in a long time. But what can I do? I'm in it. I walked and then ran. Walked and ran as long as I could in pain until the pain stopped me again. And yet I pushed on. I was probably in the last half mile, and this young lady was walking because she had some medical issues, and so I stayed with her, and we walked all the way up to the chute, and I ran through the finish line and waited for my new friend, congratulated her as she finished her first triathlon, got my medal and a water bottle, and walked to the transition zone, packed up my stuff, and just left. Now, anybody that knows me, I don't just leave. I know so many people there. The people that run the race know me. I know everybody there. The officials know me. The promoters know me. All the sponsors know me. And I just left. I got in my car, put my and went home. Showered, ate, and got into bed. Finally comfortable and warm. The interesting thing is, once I got my stuff out of the transition, my back spasm miraculously disappeared. It would have been better just to take a 5-minute siesta and lay on my back. I probably would have relaxed the back, released it, and I would have finished even better. Looking back, I can see what I was completely to blame for my race because I did everything I preached not to do. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. What I didn't get is how I finished ahead of 11 people, or how I finished and 11 people finished behind me. That's how bad it was for me. The post-mortem was 1 week past the race, I went swimming and did twice the distance in less time than I completed the race, the swim leg of the race. Hopefully, this can be a lesson for those of you who are watching this. If you plan on partying the night before the race, it will affect your performance. But if I hadn't done this, where would the lesson be? And it is a good lesson, and I hope that those of you who are watching this can learn from it and even pass this on to somebody that may be thinking partying sounds really fun. I hear up at some of the races up at Wildflower where everybody's camping, there's a lot of partying going on. Well, that's going to affect their race in a negative manner. It can't help it. You can get away with 1, maybe 2 beers, and that's fine. You're not going to, a little bit of carbs aren't going to hurt you, but you start downing a lot of drinks, you're going to be miserable, especially if you don't eat. And then, what did I eat? I ate heavy protein. That even made me more sluggish. So we look back and we can see there were a lot of decisions that I made that I probably shouldn't have made in the way I did. But what we take away is that we can learn from this, grow from this, and hopefully save others from making the same mistakes. Okay, so that's this story. Like, subscribe. If you're not logged into YouTube, you have to log in to subscribe. That way you can get more of my videos. Like it so that the algorithm says, hey, people like me. And they'll spit me out to more people even. So comment if you think this was funny. If you think I'm an idiot, that's fine. I've done dumber things in the past. Believe me, I'm no stranger to stupid. Share it with somebody, please. Share this content with somebody who can benefit from it, because this is the reason why I do this. I do this for you guys that are watching, that can learn and you can grow and you can think, maybe I can make better decisions. I mean, doing triathlons is hard as it is. But if you make bad decisions and you torpedo your own race, that's your own fault. And if you do make those mistakes, own them. Yeah, go home. It's going to smart a little bit. Give yourself a day of self-pity. And then get back up and start over again. Just like I did. I was out there swimming a couple days later. I'm out there trying my best for the next one. Training, always. So give it your best shot. And like, subscribe, and we'll see you here next time. Goodbye.